The universe doesn't expand necessarily, in a sense, but not necessarily in terms of like space. It becomes more and more spacious, it expands. How it's really relevant, it's expanding in the form of, for example, human beings. That's how the universe expands. Through experiences like that. Through points of view like that. And how we can develop different relationships with those particular points of view that we call our human self. So you're literally the fingertips. You as a human being, physical, mind-based creature, are the fingertips of God. You're the fingertips of consciousness and ultimately the One. Now if you go back to the heart and if you view the whole body and all the fingertips as one essence, we're talking about presence or creation itself. But creation itself is only a vehicle for infinity to be able to experience something whatsoever. You're the extension of God, and God is the extension of the One. God is the vehicle of the One, and you as a physical being, again, are the fingertips of that vehicle. But you are all of that vehicle, so you always have access to infinite possibilities, infinite potentials. Imagination being one tool, being one very effective tool. We have wildly underused it in our society and underrated it and misused it in a sense. But it is your connection to yourself, to more of yourself as consciousness, as its possibilities, as your connections, as your home bases, as your home realms, etc. And the One is you too, it is all. Not to confuse you, but you're all three as one. Now I sincerely hope, although that would be fine too, that no one is judging themselves and no one is trying to seek past their point of relevance. Like I said, this intensive will be intensive. It will contain the whole enchilada as I see it. That doesn't mean you have to see it all as I see it immediately or at all, ever. If something does not resonate, the highest wisdom to take is not to believe, oh, Bentinho must be speaking from the absolute level. If something doesn't resonate, then that's the highest wisdom available to you. And it completely overrules anything I say whatsoever. So if any of this does not resonate, please don't feel bad or less than or like you have to seek for more. Because the highest thing you could do right now is listen to what resonates. That really, truly is what benefits you the most at all times. If that is resting in beyondness, exploring that, fine. If that is wanting to move somewhere else and buy a new house, then that's fine. It's all equal to the One. It's not worried. The One is not worried. And the One is not waiting for you. It's already you. You can always tap into it. Exploring wanting a new house is from the One's point of view, in a sense. This is language limitation, but if the One would have a point of view, it would see wanting a new house and really stressing about it and trying to figure out how to manifest it and that kind of stuff. It would see that as a completely 100% equal representation of itself as the One that sinks into beyondness and sits there for the rest of his life. Absolutely equal, absolutely equal. That's one of the beauties of this infinity. It does not have any recollection, does not have any capacity to judge, because you see all its realities are desired by it. If something is here, it's because it itself wants it to be here. Wants it to be part of the realm of possibilities. So if you find yourself exploring something that seems so mundane and unspiritually aware and unenlightened and a desecration to God, total sin, then please know that God wants you to have that experience. That the one is absolutely validating that as a completely equal expression of the one. Because you see, when you stop judging experiences in terms of this is spiritual and this is unspiritual, and you start seeing it in terms of all that is an equally desired potential of the one to reflect back to itself the one, then you drop the specificness of, oh, only when I'm spiritually aware am I actually reflecting back to the one what it is. That's not true. When you're being absolutely unaware and unconscious and in conflict, that's one exceptionally valid way for the one to express itself and experience itself. You're still gathering experience in a sense for the one when you're doing that. Equally so as when you're aware of the one. The one doesn't care if you're aware of it or if you're just out there, because it's all the one. Does that make sense? It doesn't have a bias. All potentials are its creation, are its love. Consciousness is its love creation. So, ironically, there is this arising for a deep appreciation for the most narrow of places. And you'll see that the most narrow of mental, emotional, afflictive places are actually not narrow at all. They are, again, the very fingertip. They are where the one extends itself into more celebration of itself, more exploration of itself. So this is total validation. Doesn't mean we go rampant. It means that we start to listen to our resonance and give up ideas of better or worse, right or wrong, nice or bold. As a result, we become bolder. Naturally, not like, oh, I want to be bolder, although that can work too. If you bring in that decisive energy, can cut through a lot of energetic attitudes. But you'll just be naturally bolder and bolder and bolder and bolder. Does that make sense? Does the whole story make sense of creation, the entirety of existence, the totality of existence, in my view, which does not have to resonate for you? I'm not telling you what the absolute is.